the care with which the entirety of the emotional crescendo is delivered to you is like really fucking good. And this is early on, and this is with a character you don't know that well either. Like, they could have told that. They didn't just show you that though. They make you feel that.
What is your opinion on That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime again?
I think I saw the first episode of this and was really unimpressed by it because it looked super generic. Maybe this is me being like T and Yum Yucky, but if I can see, like just looking at this promo art right here, like tells me that I wouldn't have liked the full series anyway. Besides like the generic Isekai, most distinguishing characteristics separating people being their hair color shit, and the lolicon bait wearing 0.8 ounces of clothing and none of it being near her genitalia or whatever. You know, like, I don't know. I remember the first episode having a hyper generic depiction of a dragon. Why is it that so many isekai anime deliberately go for, like, generic depictions of Western fantasy tropes? It's like they want it all to feel like, I don't know, video game, but it's, do you guys ever get that feeling where, like, they make MMOs in anime, but the MMOs are, like, super generic? It's like, yeah, we made a VR MMO. You have the warrior class and the thief class. There's a level 1 slime. Like, where the fuck is the personality? Like, if it's a video game, like, in a real world video game, they would distinguish it in some way, you know? But it's... yeah, it's like all Dragon Quest brain, you know? But life has moved on. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can get everything that I need to know about this from the art. I feel like I'm rapidly internalizing all necessary information. Okay, I actually want to know. What do you guys think? 12 or 1,000-year-old Dragon Lolly? I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to look up the character. I just want to know, like, how deranged. 12 likely? Has anyone here watched it? Do they know? They need to give lolly-bait characters deeper voices. They kind of did that in Hunter x Hunter, right? What's her name? Yeah, this is, would you recommend Spy X Family? Yeah, Spy X Family's a really good shoe head. Yeah. It's slice of life comedy that I think actually hits its beats, and it's really wholesome and it's not creepy. And I think it's really good. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. This is how you can tell that Hunter x Hunter is good. Okay? They were like, we're going to have a character, they're pulling the danger move, you know, they're getting closer to the abyss. We're going to have a character who looks like a young girl. Everyone in the fucking studio is like, okay, how are we going to handle this? First off, she'll be fully dressed like a normal, well, I guess this isn't really normal clothing, but like fully dressed in a non-sexualized way, not even remotely sexualized, okay? Oh, incredible! Second of all, this is actually what she looks like. Yeah, well, oh, you want the little lolly character to have a short skirt? All right. Hold on, let me just draft a new character design real quick. Kablamo. Sure, there you go. Revolutionary. Fantastic. Yeah, it turns into a fucking JoJo character. Yeah, very good. She's also 70 years old. Isn't it that she's really old, but she can use her chi energy to control her age or some shit? And normally she does this because she just thinks it's more fun to live life like this, but she's actually like this because she's really strong. I forget. The Nen logic in Hunter x Hunter gets so convoluted, man. They really go overboard with that shit. Yeah, she doesn't like being muscly. It's so complicated. Nen is so complicated in Hunter x Hunter that they dedicate half of an arc of explaining to the main characters and to the audience how it works. Because nobody knows, somehow, even though it's a fundamental part of their universe. I guess it's like a secret how Nen works, even though, like, everyone theoretically can possess it. But, like, it starts out with, you can use Nen energy to punch people harder. And then at the end, you have, like, Nen bank accountants who, when they hit you, they add debt to your Nen money that increases in interest at a 16.7% monthly compound rate. I'm not kidding! And then it increases the vulnerability of future Nen deductions to your... That's not a joke. I'm not joking. Not even joking. Chat, hyper as if this is just literally a thing that happens. Yeah. Not even the most complicated Nen power. And then they introduce, like, maybe the single best shonen anime arc ever maybe up there with, like, Impel Down on One Piece in the form of the fucking Ant King. And then he doesn't even have a Nen power. They spend the whole series gearing everyone up. Okay, here's your wacky power system. Yeah, here's the fucking Ant King. His power is that he can punch people. Dodgeball episodes were dope nuts. You like Impel Down better than the War Arc right after it? I'm not sure. I have to. I'm rereading through right now. I just finished Water 7. I still think that Nico Robin's turnaround was maybe the best like emotional peak in anime, like the whole fucking genre, medium, whatever. One Piece is incredible because the whole goddamn manga relies on Looney Tunes logic for basically everything. But it still has some of the most, like, pathos-driven character
Bullshit
shit.
like
I haven't watched the anime Peacekeeper. I will never watch the One Piece anime. Maybe for the Wano arc? Maybe? The thing I wanted to say is just, like, one of the things that put me off from One Piece for so long is the cartoony shit. Because it's, like, Looney Tunes logic 99% of the time, you know? And I thought that would kind of come at the expense of, like, the drama. But it really, 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 really doesn't. The art's really good, too. Like, really good and detailed. It honestly only takes, like, 2 or 3 chapters for the, like, the crustiness of the art to fall off. And for it to look and feel really, really good. That's the beauty of animation. You can be silly as fuck, then go deep emotional in a heartbeat. Nah, it's not just that. It has to be set up well. It's not just the medium. Like, I've seen Naruto, you know? Like, Naruto also has your goofy to serious bits, but it doesn't do it anywhere near as well. Don't get me wrong, I think Naruto's pretty okay. But, like, One Piece sets up its big emotional drops with mathematical precision. It's like when like, the big turnarounds. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. No, One Piece is just written really fucking well. No, I've not seen Gintama. Yeah, Oda's a really good writer. Like I'm saying, man, the turnaround for Nico Robin, or even early on with Nami. When I first read One Piece, and after Nami, like, betrayed the crew, I decided I was gonna hate her forever. When Nami did what she did, I decided that I hated her. Like, I loved Luffy from the beginning, because I love idiots who charge forward no matter what, and have a good attitude. I love that shit. Yeah, Nami's the redhead. And I knew that they were gonna redeem Nami, because she had been set up for being a member of the group. No! I knew they were going to redeem Nami because I knew that she had been set up to be a member of the crew, and also, like, I live in the universe, which means that I know Nami is a part of the Straw Hat crew. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm aware of that. What does she do for those of us who get laid? This is really early on in One Piece, so I'm willing to spoil the first, like, 1/20th or whatever. But, basically, at this point, Luffy, your Straw Hat captain, the Gum Gum boy, whatever, is just starting out. They encounter Nami, like, stealing gold from some other pirates. They fight against other pirates with Nami. Nami clearly only really cares about money and doesn't really care about anything else. She has, like, a decent attitude, but she's pretty self-serving. She does some adventures with the rest of the crew, and then, like, a little while after, she abandons them and fucks them over and runs off to join another pirate crew of a bunch of, like, evil fishmen who she's been saving money on. And I knew when that happened, I knew they were going to redeem her because everything was narratively set up. But holy fuck, like, Oda, that's the mangaka, Oda, like, really sold me on that. You know? Like, it's one thing to redeem a character who's done something wrong, and another thing for me to, like, for me to feel engaged as I read, like, 18 chapters fully exploring the reasons why she did it, the entirety of her, like, mental state, like, everything, and then to, like, deliver it in a narratively satisfying way. It's really, really, really impressive to do that, you know? Yeah. No, Ash, no, I know that. Like, that's part of what it was, right? Like, everything about Nami makes so much sense, you know? Like, Nami has personality flaws all throughout One Piece, but all of them make sense given the upbringing that she had and what she had to go through. And that upbringing isn't just told to you, it's like you feel it. That's the real difference, okay? If they could have just said, Nami is obsessed with money because she was told that... Nope! Like, anyone... Like, you can always tell someone, right? Like, it would have been really easy. It would have been really easy for them to go, like, the reason Nami is so obsessed with money and isn't that trustworthy is because, like, Fishman fucked up her village and she was told and lied to that she could save enough money to buy the freedom of her people, you know? Like, they could have told that. They didn't just show you that, though. They make you feel that. For those of you who, like, know, you know what I mean, right? I don't want to have to, like... I don't want to have to, like, relay every event that happens, but, like, the care with which the entirety of the emotional crescendo is delivered to you is, like, really fucking good. And this is early on, and this is with a character you don't know that well, either. It's really, really good. And Oda continues and exceeds that level of quality continuously throughout the entire thing. Like, I'm talking about the very first shit. Yeah, the Nami, please help me. Like, I'm not trying to spoil, like, big moments for it, but, like, yeah, like, I that was a pretty fucking emotional moment. And it's in a show, or, like, a manga, that has, like, Looney Tunes physics 99% of the time. So, yeah, I just think they deliver on that really, really well. Very good, LARP on me. Yeah, okay, sorry. Do you have a favorite character arc in One Piece? Oh, the best character arc in One Piece is objectively, Nico Robins. That doesn't mean it's the best, like, part of One Piece, or it's the best story, or the best fight, or anything. But in terms of, like, the development of a character, Nico Robin is undeniably the best, like, character arc through One Piece. Yeah. Is the anime any good? I don't want the anime, because I know it dips into filler and it's really long. The manga is amazing. I'm fine with the manga. The manga's enough. That's what I want. That's what I do.
Seen any abridged anime you enjoy? I recommend One Piece by Purple Eyes WTF and Naruto the abridged comedy fandub spoof series show by Little Karibo.
No, I've never actually watched an abridged series. I need to do the one for Dragon Ball, I think.
I was born and raised a Naruto fan, but I have since embraced FMA. B is my favorite anime of all time. I rewatch nonstop.
Yeah, FMAB is really good. FMAB is probably on, like, the best shonen anime that I've ever seen. If I feel like a One Piece done to the level of quality FMAB was done would be my preferred, but that doesn't exist, so I can't really speak on that. I will say, though, that in terms of, like, the emotional drop, man, like, One Piece... I can't think of any moment in FMAB that made me stop with the, like, shonen action and, like, sit down and really empathize with a character, you know? It feels like the really big empathy hit for the Elric brothers happened right at the beginning with their mom. And there were a couple more points, but they always felt like... Wait, Vaush, unironically, there weren't any more moments that made you stop. Okay, I'm just gonna finish talking about it. I'm gonna do this in one fell swoop. I'm muting donos. We're doing this in one fell swoop, okay? So, here's my shit, okay? Nope, sorry. I'll read them in a sec. Oh my god. Good thing I did it when I did. Okay, listen. I just want to explain this so I don't have to, like, keep thinking of it, okay? Here's, like, my shit when it comes to media, alright? There are plenty of pieces of media that I really, really enjoy that never get me engaged on a deep emotional level. It takes a lot to get me to do that, because I've consumed a lot of media. I don't, like, you know, I'm not, like, if a story is just competently done, I'm not going to feel a deep emotional connection to a character in that story. Not because it's bad or because, like, I'm jaded or whatever, but, you know, I have some perspective on what types of character beats I find most compelling, and if it falls below the standards of stuff that I've gotten, you know, some familiarity with, it can be less impactful. These are, after all, your emotions, right? I mean, they're not... It's not like a rational assessment. It's what gives you that feeling. And you know what I'm talking about, right? That feeling. No, I don't think jaded is the same as being experienced, because I don't think negatively of this. You know, it's not that I think less of this. But do you know what I mean about that emotional connection? Like, that feeling you get where you just fucking get where somebody is, and even though you know it's fictional, you can't control your hope that things work out for them. Maybe that's the positive version. You know, there's an opposite where, like, even though you know a character is fictional, you need to see them punished for something bad they've done. You know? Because I can watch a show that's like got a lot of action and there's like an evil villain. I'm like, yeah, I want them to kick their ass. But if the story ended with the person's ass not getting kicked, like, oh yeah, yeah, I mean, right? Yeah, like, okay. But to give me that real, and they do this all the time in media, where they make you like need that person dead, right? Like it's like the kick the dog moment for a lot of villains, where it's not just that they're bad, they try to get you to resonate with how bad they are on like an intrinsic emotional level to the point where it overwhelms your rational assessment of media consumption, and you just like emotively fucking need them to die. Or some other character. Joffrey did that for a lot of people, where Joffrey was so monstrous and so horrible that people like irrationally like needed, and I mean, I think that speaks to good writing, right? Like, it's not hard to write like shitty brat king character archetype, but they did it with him, and clearly they did a good job because people had very strong reactions to Joffrey. You know what I mean? I can never get this feeling from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is so wacky that all the good and all the evil that happens in it feels like it's part of a theme park ride. You know what I mean? When I see stuff happen in JoJo, I never even feel like it's happening to like persons, because the JoJo universe is so out there that it's difficult to sympathize that much or empathize that much with any. It's like it's entertainment. I'm fine with that. I don't think that's bad. But when I'm like looking at shit happening in like part 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, I'm never thinking like it's never overwhelming my feeling of media consumption. It's never going beyond that. It never surpasses that. It takes a lot for me to really empathize with a character to the point where I'll get upset for them. This happened with Night in the Woods. With Night in the Woods, this happened with Night in the Woods. The character May, it happened with her. It happened with the redhead from Divinity Original Sin 2, the one who was possessed. It happened with her. I felt that with her. There are some characters. Life is Strange. Losa, thank you. Los, yeah, her. I never really felt it with Life is Strange because I felt like the game was trying too hard to make me feel that way. Life is Strange dipped into melodrama for me, you know? It felt like you had a real world with real characters, but then the drama got escalated to a point where it exceeded the narrative limits of the environment they built. And that's one of the things I think that One Piece does really fucking well. Because One Piece is like a natural cartoon world. Like, literally, like, people's eyes will go awooga when they see someone they're really into, and, like, that's canonically acknowledged in universe. Oh, I'll check in one sec, White. Please, Confetti, yeah, I'll check in just a moment as soon as I'm done rambling, because I need to stay on track here. And thank you for all the wonderful work that you've done. I'll check in just a moment. What was I saying? Oh, anyway, the reason I stayed off One Piece for a while was because I felt like that cartoony shit would keep me from appreciating the pathos, like the character arc, the emotion. And I want to say, by the way, even if Oda never like really nailed that feeling for me, I still think One Piece would be like 9.5 out of 10, because it's actually really awesome. Like, it's actually really, like, if you're into the genre of willpower equals strength and people fight against the odds to do whatever they can to win, if that's like a thing that you like, if you're like, yeah, like whenever that happens in media, like I think it does it as well as any piece of media is going to, but then in addition to that, because everything is so over the top in that universe, they get to drive the emotional stakes through at that level of over the top. That's every anime though? No, some do it better than others. They get to drive the emotional stakes through with that level of impact, with that level of emphasis. And they do it in a way. I don't know, guy. I don't know, guy. Maybe this is cringe autism rambling. It definitely is. I know that for a fact. I can't avoid that. But I've seen a lot of media. I've played a lot of games. I've seen a lot of shows. Read a lot of manga, and I don't think that feeling of like emotional, like deep empathy for a fictional character is that common. I don't think it's that common of experience. It certainly isn't for me. Maybe there are people who feel it all the time. Because I see people on social media who get these feelings from, like, Marvel movies. And I don't want to yum yuck or whatever, but anyone whose feeling of deep emotional resonance can be triggered by a Marvel movie has a way lower threshold than me for that. What's yum yucking? Yum yucking means, like, spoiling the fun for other people. It's like a negative term for people who are like, let people enjoy things. But, like, anyone who can get that feeling from those, like Scarlet Witch is like, they deeply empathize. Their bar for that is just so below where mine is. And you know what? If they enjoy that, then that's great. Fuck it. They're having more fun than I am, right? But it takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to feel that way. And so when I see shit that makes me feel that way, that's very special to me. So yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, I can look through. I'm only looking at like a game library right now, but I can see all the games that I've played. What here gives me that feeling? I mean, Disco Elysium gave me this feeling, but not about any of the characters in Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium gave me this feeling about myself. Oh, Amori. Amori gave me the strongest version of that feeling that I've had. In a long time. Yeah, Amori's probably the big one. I'm not spoiling, nobody's spoiling. Chat, for those of you who have played Amori, can you confirm that it's not possible to play Amori without having strong emotional reactions to the development of the characters? Can we agree on that? I can confirm, yeah. It's Outer Wilds like that for me. Yeah, Outer Wilds gave me that feeling, but it was about myself. Outer Wilds gave me like this overwhelming emotional feeling of like wonder at the state of things, and Disco Elysium gave me that as well, and also kind of like this persistence of character. What about Crosscode? Crosscode is getting there, but I haven't finished it. We're far enough in that I can see where the emotional drops are. Would you recommend Amori even if I'm a recovering depressed person? That really depends on how you respond to media, because that's a powerful game. Please take it from me as somebody who does not like sit here crying. I've been made to cry maybe 4 or 5 times from media in my life, okay? Not super vulnerable to it. Amori is a fucking... It opens with a content warning. It's a fucking dropkick of a game. Straight. There were points I physically felt like somebody had punched me in the stomach. By the way, I want to say, games that can do this is great. Great. Oh yeah, Firewatch does have a strong emotional core. I did, Darth. I had done everything. I'm fully Amori'd. Bolt, if I want to find a game, I just search for it. I have like 300 games here. I don't need to put them all in a folder. I've played Lisa the Painful, yeah. Lisa the Painful did give me strong feelings. Yeah, it did. Fucked up game. Yeah. I played Prey. Yeah. What about the Joyful? I did play the Joyful. Yeah. Yeah. But not as strong of feelings. I've not tried Before Your Eyes. I do recommend Amori quite a bit. For people who are not prone to suicidality. Jesus. Sing Oyasumi? No. Okay, it's enough for the recommendations. I'm just trying to relay the point. Experiences like those and feelings like those are very special. And should be treasured. You see if there are any other games here that really give me that feeling. Like really, like give me that's what games are about. Well, that's what media is about, right? I've long felt this. The way to change a person. So nobody is rational. None of you and not me, We have rational elements, but fundamentally people are rationalization machines. We're very good at justifying what we are and what we do and what we want. We're built to do that. And as a product of that, it's very difficult to change people's minds, or even more difficult to change a person like at their core. And I believe one of the only things that can get a person to really, really change who they are, well, you need like a flash of introspection. You need like more than being told you're wrong. That's not enough. Sometimes that works, like that. That's not to say that can't work, but you need a stronger and emotionally charged kick to your reflective senses. You know, you need to be prompted to look inward. You know what I'm talking about? And I think empathy, or I guess some people might say like love or something, I think those are one of the few things that can reliably prompt those feelings. I think that's a really effective way. I think empathy is the kicker there, right? Maybe love is more like a flowery way of saying it, but empathy is like is a big kicker, which is one of the reasons, right? Like you can have people who are meat eaters their whole lives, but like one like impactful emotive experience with like seeing an animal suffering can change their mind. No argument could have. Maybe that, like there's something about that like kick, right? You know? There's a reason why documentarians they try to go for those emotional hits too. It does it not sell logical arguments? I mean, it does, right? That's just how we are. It's a huge kicker. Empathy is built into us. It's a part. It's a part of the framework. It has to be that we're social animals, and if you want, oh no, it can sell illogical arguments too. This is a neutral tool when it comes to the value of the things being delivered. But the reason why, there's a reason I'm hitting on this. You know, it's that emotional experience when used as a delivery mechanism for worthwhile messages, beliefs, feelings, whatever, critically powerful, you know? For instance, Nico Robin's arc and Omori both prompted me to think about mental health in ways that I hadn't beforehand, prompted a reflection on those ideas that I just would not have been compelled to do if I hadn't had that strong connection to the characters therein, you know? I think it takes mastery to bring people to that point. Elaborate? I'm trying to think of a real gut punch that everyone here has experienced that wouldn't require me to like give details on some piece of media. Like some big kicker. Some like very effective Titanic? No, 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 no. I mean a proper, specific. Maybe this was the wrong. I cried very hard watching Zuko reunite with Iroh. Okay, fine. Can we use that? Can we use that as the example? Can we use that as the example? Can we work with that? This is so this should resonate with most people. Okay, in the finale of near the finale of The Last Airbender, Zuko and Iroh meet up again, and Zuko breaks down because he's afraid that he shamed Iroh, and then Iroh says the only thing he was worried about was that Zuko would not have found his way. You remember that? Yeah, like at the end where they're both tearing up. That made a lot of people tear up. Yeah. Okay, so chat clearly is demonstrating that they've had. Okay, so like, yeah, I was never angry with you. I was sad because I was worried you had lost your way. Okay, I'm trying to think. I feel like if I were to sit people down and I was to tell them, like, people often don't have a strong sense of identity, especially if they've been subject to abuse. And even if they act out, sometimes it's just a part of them finding their identity. So when they do that, try not to be angry for them so much as sad because you're concerned that they're not going to develop well or whatever. I feel like you could sit somebody down and lay out all of the logic behind that point, and people would be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And like people would get it and like you'd agree, but I don't think that it would prompt introspection. Introspection is the critical part because agreeing with an idea is one thing, but applying it to your life is another thing, right? Think of how many Christians claim to preach kindness, but in reality they're horrible pieces of shit, right? Like agreeing with something isn't enough. The introspection has to be prompted. You have to have a strong enough emotional experience that you're not just at the outer layer of rationalization. You're at like a deeper level of like, well, fuck, is that like, am I living that, you know? And that's one of the reasons why media is so compelling. That's one of the reasons why the stuff that I do can only go so far, right? I can weave emotional arguments into logical ones, but I can't craft an experience the way media can to get people to have like a deep emotional experience associated with a set of ideas, you know? Like the weight, the impact of that requires a lot of talent, a lot of artistry to produce. Um, and yeah, that's like really important, right? Yeah, that's all I'm talking about, really. I respect moments like that, and I think it's really good when they're used to good effect, you know? What movies or non-animated shows have done this for you? I do not feel it very often at all for non-animated stuff. Oh yeah, End of Evangelion is like 40% this feeling, right? Like End of Evangelion is like overwhelmingly yeah. Yeah, funny rhetorician. That's the same for me. That's why I seek out the experiences that I connect to so much. The original anime ending? No, End of Evangelion, the movie, not the rebuild. That's another subject, Deism Accountant. How do I stop being cynical about that kind of stuff and letting myself feel more openly, if you can even answer that? Yeah, I mean, this is going to differ for everyone because everyone, like, it can be hard to tell whether a person is emotionally closed off or if they're just a little bit more reserved. I don't think those are the same thing at all. Being closed off is bad, because it means you're shelving like authentic feelings. Being more reserved just means you're naturally kind of, chill or whatever. Yeah, you have to feel comfortable about like having those feelings. I don't know, like I don't know. It's about the experiences that you have, right? Is it not normal to like read a book and get really fucking invested in the well-being of the characters? Your imagination's doing all the work there. You're just reading text on a page. You don't see or hear anyone. It's something that you can experience with nothing other than context given. All you need is an idea to latch yourself onto. Yeah, they have to be good characters, of course. Um, yeah, it's everyone is capable of that. It's just a matter of what resonates with you. After I watched Fully Cooley, I felt like genuinely empty. I think something triggered my brain to shut down my emotions. Well, it might be that you're uncomfortable empathizing with characters in media, so you're like deliberate, well, not deliberately, but you're like your mind is distancing itself from that degree of empathy. You know, I think empathy is very valuable. I think the thing that makes empathy most valuable is not how you treat others. You can treat people very well without empathizing with them. Without empathy, I think you can like live and have fulfilling social experiences. I think empathy is actually most valuable because it prompts reflections, like introspection, because it's very difficult to turn your eyes and your thoughts inward. It's very, very difficult to like properly examine what you are. You can't, right? Was it Durkheim who talked about the looking glass self? You conceptualize yourself based on your experiences with others. The way others see you and the way you see them seeing you define who you are. Everyone's self-perception is influenced heavily by the way in which they believe others see them, and your ability to understand what they see when they look at you is a part of empathy. This is one of the reasons why oftentimes people who have really weird perceptions of themselves also aren't that good at reading other people. Depressed people are like this, right? People who are depressive have usually low self-image. They're also really bad at understanding what others think of them, because depressive people tend to assume other people think less of them than they actually do. Your ability to perceive yourself in others is diminished, therefore your ability to conceptualize yourself is diminished too. Your sense of self can't really exist without others. How much do you think you would think about yourself if you lived without any other humans and had never met another human? You might understand that you exist in a body, and maybe you have an appearance that you see when you look in like a still body of water. You might understand things about yourself, like how fast you are relative to the other animals. But your sense of self is contextual. It's determined by what you are as defined by what you understand others to be. Yeah, the looking glass self. Yeah. And so I think empathy is really important because if you can see others' experiences and really feel them, you can understand what's going on in yourself when you do something similar, right? So like if you see a depressed person and like they have like negative experiences, it's one thing to look at that and go, yeah, they're sad. Like I get that, they need to do that to get over it. Like this can help, that can not help. It's another thing to like really see what they are as another possible version of what you could have been, like just a different permutation of feelings that everybody has, including and to learn from that. Does that make sense? And you can experience this through media. Like media can give you these flashes of insight. You can see a well-constructed character act in certain ways and think, even if they're not real at all, you can think not only like, oh, that's good, oh, that's bad, oh, this means that, oh, this means this, but you can look at it and think, what does that mean to me? What does that say about me? And that's why it's good. Learning is good. Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. All right, that's enough rambling. Okay, we have to catch up with donos. Yeah, okay, hold on.